Hello, welcome back to Oliver's greenhouse. It's time to have a look at the results of the poll, let's have a look at some of those comments, and also have another go at potting up the Aerides and hopefully growing it just that little bit better. So it's in the greenhouse here, it's actually hanging up by a dead root. So let's go and pick that up now, and we'll pick it up, take it inside, and see what we can do with it. Okay. So it's time to have a look at the results of the poll about how to pot this little guy up. It's kind of just been hanging out in the greenhouse ever since we unmounted it. So the poll's been up. We've had 379 views since the video went up, and hopefully we've had a few votes. I know I've had lots of comments. You guys have been pretty interested in this, so we'll go have a quick flick through and see what the overall opinion was. I think from memory, most of the comments I had were about basically no media, or if any media, a small amount of media, just really to sort of anchor it in the pot. So we'll be having a look at that. Flick through here. So cards. So I set little cards up. They should have popped up at in the top of the screen as you were watching the video, and hopefully, when my computer catches up, I need to get a new laptop. I do all my editing on this thing, and it's basically falling apart a little bit now. It's a good few years old now, and I think it's time for a PC upgrade. So here are the poll results. We'll have a look through here. So we've only had 2 votes. We've had 2 responses. Come on, people. 357 people have watched this. Only 2 people have voted. So the options were basket pot with grow stone. That's got 1 vote. Mount it. That's got 1 vote. They're basically the same thing. Basket pot with no media, no votes. Clear orchid pot, thankfully also no votes. I don't think that was going to, but it was always going to be an option. And the next one was throw it in the bin, and no one has voted for that. So next we'll head on over to the comments section and have a look at some of those, and hopefully we'll have something. We'll be able to get a gist of what people have been angling at. So if we come out here and head on to my channel like this, then we can scroll down and look at the video. No dislikes on that. Unlike the 7 minutes of relaxing ambient storm noise, I wonder how many people actually clicked on that and thought, oh, this is going to be relaxing. And it wasn't, it was just me goofing around in the greenhouse. So here's the video. You can just click on this guy. There we go, pause it so we don't have to listen to the sound of my intro music, which I think in this instance was just the simple sound of a chicken. I sort of try and find things that I find amusing. I'm not really so sure on the intro video yet, I'm still working on it, so let's scroll down and have a look. This is the comment I pinned at the top, which was just telling you that there was a poll in the video. Roger's had some good input. He said basically rinse it off, put it straight back in with nothing, or at best a few large pieces of something just to hold it in place. I'm not really sure about that. I haven't got pieces of the large grow stone to hold it in place, so I'm not sure about that. What is that? Interview with a catatonic schizophrenic. Is that a sign? I don't know. So anyway, good input from Roger. Some nice warm comments. I'm so lucky now. I really consider myself to have a very, very nice community. You guys have always got really, really positive things to say, and I appreciate it immensely. So thank you very much. This is basically the only reason I keep doing this. Increase moisture retentive medium, perhaps keeper in the basket, add a little chunky bark. That's from Denise. And charcoal to the mix. I did think about that. I have got some big bark. The trouble is, to be honest, my greenhouse stays at night time now. It's 100% relative humidity every single night in summer. It is literally saturated, and it's like an actual jungle. So I think it was just staying moist for too long. I've had to take a lot of the carnivorous plants out as well because it's just getting too humid for them. They don't like it. So Terry. He's got a very nice Aerides, which is up on his Instagram. It's doing a lot better than mine, and it's flowering at the moment. And yeah, so he's said to, here's his bare roots since he's had it. He tries to mist the roots or dunk it daily, although I can admit it's winter, it might have got water once or twice a month, which makes sense really, certainly in my greenhouse. Vince and Dawn, they're just enjoying my pyjamas, which I haven't got on. I'm actually dressed today. Renee, the Aerides doesn't need any medium, also doesn't need much light until it gets to flowering, so that's true, because the way I was growing it before, it was just going really red, a real sign that it was getting far too much sun. So with that in mind, this may very well be the simplest potting video you guys have, and certainly ones that I've ever done, and certainly ones you've ever seen. So I'm going to go for putting it back in the basket with nothing, and we'll put it up near the misters. That way it will get lots of, it will probably be misted 3 or 4 times a day, which I think it'll enjoy. So let's get on and do that now. Okay, so before I pot it up, back in this little pot, this is what it was in before, thought I'd sort of take a moment to just snip off any of the dead roots, because there's a few on here. Some have got some of the old bark sort of attached to them, where they sort of like glued themselves on a little bit. I also noticed there's a new root coming as well. I think that's as a result of the warm weather. If I hold up to the camera, hopefully you guys can see that just there. So I pick all of this manky old stuff off and then cut any dead roots off. This root here is definitely dead, but it's not completely dead. So I think if we cut it off back to where it's living, like this, so it's died about there. I don't want to take too many of the dead ones off, because actually it's going to be helpful for keeping it sort of in the pot, if that makes sense. But some of the roots, so the ones that are really healthy, have really changed colour. Hopefully it'll focus in. You see the little white, all the velamen, all that silvery stuff shows that this root's pretty well hydrated. And even some of the others have started to change colour, whereas before they were all they were very wet, but they didn't have this sort of velamen covering. I also noticed on this root there's lots of new roots coming as well by my finger, and these little lumps here and here and here, I'm assuming will turn into branching roots. So fingers crossed this thing will be able to reinvigorate itself and end up with a healthy root system again. I'll do this in front of the camera because I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to try and get this guy back in here by sort of like hooking the roots in through the sides of the pot like this. So hopefully it'll sort of re-anchor itself. I want to be quite careful because I don't want to snap any of these roots which are sort of viable. Oh my god, this is going to be tricky. I'm scared. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try and put that root there in through the side of the basket like this. This is so easy to do whilst on camera, honestly. At risk of making myself look like a complete fool by snapping that off. I'm going to put it in there like that, and then hopefully when I rotate the plant I'll be able to just ease some of it down and through. I reckon if we get to that elbow we'll be able to rotate the plant fully. Yeah, so it's kind of wrapping around underneath here now. And then just, gently tease roots without causing damage. There we go. Just going to put him through a little bit more on this side. There we go, that's about as much as I'm prepared to move that guy there. And the same on here. Just going to pull some of these. That's a bit of a dead bit there anyway, it's not very healthy. So there we go. Let's see if I can put that root out through the other side. Up a little bit. This is so tricky. There we go, so pull that guy in there, pull that guy in there. There we go, it's kind of sat in the pot now, and what I've done is I've just pulled the roots through the outside of the pot like that, and it's not firmly in there, but it's better than it was. One downside of having that there. There we go. There. So we'll leave it in that, and we'll just see how we get on. It's kind of flopping around. It goes against everything I like about planting something or potting something. It kind of flops around a little bit, but it's in there, and we'll put it up near the misters, and hopefully that guy's going to take off now and be a lot happier.